Welcome back to GN Sports, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Time now for a live Gimme 5, the college football playoff edition. Joining us tonight to talk about yesterday's instant classics, Matt Fortuna, founder of Inside Zone and co-host of the Independent Podcast. Listen, thank you for joining us tonight. We needed you tonight.
We did need you.
We need you. All right, so both semifinals games were amazing, but let's start with the Rose Bowl and that showdown between Bama and Michigan. Did you think that the offense and defense would dominate the trenches like they did yesterday in that game for Michigan?
Yeah, Jared, I'm not surprised Michigan won the game. I am surprised they looked as convincing in victory as they did. I realized that game went to overtime, but that was because Michigan really had a number of different errors in the special teams phase that almost cost them the game, but especially defensively. I mean, that front absolutely dominated Alabama's offensive line. Jalen Miller had nothing come easy to him all night long. He was sacked 5 times in the first half. Officially, Alabama fumbled the ball 5 times because their center had such difficulty snapping the ball to him, and that came back to bite on the last play of the game when it was a low snap that ruined any chance Alabama had of tying the game on 4th down. So it was a dominant physical performance by Michigan. It would have been a really bad loss for Michigan if they lost it because they looked like the better team for the better part of 60 minutes there.
And now we have set up, this national championship game, 1 against 2 undefeated teams with Michigan and Washington. There's always the questions, Matt, of did the committee get it right? When you look at now how it's playing out now in this national championship game, did the committee get it right?
Hard to say they got it wrong, right? I mean, it's like the old BCS. The top 2 teams are both undefeated. I thought Washington had a case to be number 1 over Michigan based on their strength of schedule. And the irony in all this is these are going to be Big Ten rivals next year. They're playing next October, as conference opponents. So they will be very familiar with each other. They played 2 years ago in Ann Arbor. They were supposed to play in Seattle. COVID canceled that game. So we'll consider this the return of that home and home.
Well, we kind of knew if you looked at the over in the Texas and Washington game, it was like 61.5. You knew this one was going to be a shootout, ladies and gentlemen, and it was. Did you think when you looked at the matchup, Quinn Ewers and what that Texas team was all about, a lot of people didn't give Washington a lot of credit with all the studs that they have. They were able to run the football just a little bit, just to show the run, to be able to open up a lot for Michael Penix Jr. and those weapons.
Yeah, Jared, Michael Penix Jr. was my vote for the Heisman Trophy this year. Obviously, he finished second. Jaden Daniels had a phenomenal year, no disrespect to him, but I still think this Washington program and Michael Penix Jr. are somehow underrated. That's the best receiving corps in the country, without a doubt. I'm not surprised they're able to air it out the way they did. And Texas, to their credit, did much of the same offensively. They just kept having turnovers, both on special teams and on offense, that really hamstrung their chances at the end to mount a legitimate comeback. But we just keep sleeping on this Washington team. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Kalen DeBoer, their head coach, who's not flashy. He's 25-2 in 2 years there. They're 10-0 against ranked teams.
Real quick, though, Sharky, before you say anything, this team defensively, bend don't break for that Washington squad. And every time it was a close game, they found ways to be able to gut it out. To me, that says something about a team getting to this point of the season.
I'm with you. I believe in winning DNA, and this Washington program absolutely has it. They've beaten good teams, they've beaten bad teams. It hasn't always been pretty. We saw them struggle with a bad Arizona State team at home this year. We saw them struggle on the road with a bad Stanford team, but they found a way to pull it out time and time again. And in that rematch with Oregon, everyone thought the first game was a fluke because of Dan Lanning's 4th down calls. Well, Washington really took it to Oregon in the first half of that game. They dominated the first 30 minutes. They hung on at the end and won. And again, Michael Penix Jr. just makes every big throw when he needs to. And there's something to be said for that. I mean, J.J. McCarthy's had a great year so far, but Michael Penix Jr. is the better quarterback in this national title game.
That was going to lead me to my next question. When you look at the quarterback matchup outside of that, though, like you said, because Michael Penix Jr. has that advantage, who has the advantage and where necessarily do you think it is? Is it purely just quarterback play for Washington, or where else do you think?
Quarterback play and receiver play, definitely. I think that's the one part of Michigan that we keep saying is kind of weakness, even though they keep delivering time and time again. It's Roman Wilson and a bunch of pretty good but not great 4 or 5-star guys. But J.J. McCarthy, to his credit, he may not have the big numbers. He had just 1 touchdown pass since October 21st against Michigan State going into the college football playoff yesterday. He had 3 touchdown passes. It wasn't his sharpest outing, but he made every big throw when it mattered, particularly on that final drive, completing the 4th and 2 to Blake Corum. And say what you want about Michigan. There's been a lot of self-inflicted drama. There's a lot of woe is me caused mostly by the adults in the room there. that locker room, from a player perspective, is as connected and as tight as I've ever seen a group in this era. And it's strange and almost odd and ironic that you look at this group. It's a lot of juniors, it's a lot of seniors. They all came back for this year, kind of a last dance flavor to it, right? Like they put all their chips on the table to win a national title this year. And to their credit, they're one step away from doing that, and they're favored to do it against Washington on Monday.
I'm going to flip the script a little bit. This wasn't a great Bama football team. And I mean, the teams that we're accustomed to seeing, this was not a great Bama team, but still, Michigan looked like the dominant team there and being able to run. And I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Blake Corum and the game that he had yesterday for the Wolverines, dude. He is what moves that offense.
He is, and he's such a great college running back because he's so good at moving the chains, getting 3 or 4 yards at a time. I remember that Ohio State game, the regular season finale. Michigan got the ball back up 3 with 8 minutes left, and they were almost able to run the clock out, not through any big play, but because they got a great offense line and they got a running back who doesn't have negative plays. He just barrels forward and gets those chunk yards as necessary. And they scored on 6 of their final 7 drives against a very good Ohio State defense. And again, it wasn't flashy, but they're a very workmanlike group up front. And we saw them do that yesterday against Alabama, both in the first half and at the end of regulation and overtime.
Looking to the future, Matt, there's a lot of big conversations about quarterbacks, as you can imagine, this time of year with the Bears having their pick and then just the upcoming NFL draft in general. We've heard all about Caleb Williams. We've heard all about Drake May. Guys like Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr., even J.J. McCarthy. Where do you see their futures kind of shaking out as they now put a stamp on the end of their collegiate careers and look ahead?
I'm waiting for this one.
Well, I will say I think Caleb Williams is the best of that bunch. And I'm gonna kind of like punt on this question a little bit because I know where you want me to go with it. You got the number 1 pick. You got to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. because he's the surest thing in this draft. And that's not an indictment on Justin Fields. That's not in support of Justin Fields. I just think he's the surest thing in this draft.
That is amazing. Why doesn't Michael Penix get enough credit, though? I don't understand it. All we talk about is Drake May and Caleb Williams. This dude put up 430 yards yesterday. Are you kidding me?
And he made it look easy. And he's such a beautiful deep ball. I think part of it, he had 4 season-ending injuries in a row at Indiana, so I'm sure there will be pro scouts who have some concerns about his durability. But the last 2 years, you see what he's done there.
Stayed healthy.
He's been healthy, and Washington's won darn near every game they played with him under center.
So let's say Michigan wins the national championship. Does Harbaugh ride off into the sunset of the NFL coaching world, or does he say, no, I'm staying here?
I think he's going to try to go to the NFL independent of whatever happens on Monday, because next year's Michigan team is not going to be nearly as good as this year's team. They're going to have a lot of people getting drafted, a lot of people graduating. And look, each of the last 2 off seasons, Jim Harbaugh flirted with the NFL. He got pretty far down the road with the Vikings 2 years ago. He got far down the road with the Broncos last year. The question is, what if he doesn't get a job again and he comes back to a situation where he's going to be facing probably a lengthy suspension and he's going to have a roster that, while not rebuilding in the traditional sense, will be rebuilding in the sense of they're probably not a Big Ten title or college football playoff contender next year. So the good thing about Jim Harbaugh, no one speaks for him. He does everything on his own terms when he wants to do it. But I do find it interesting that he just hired Don Yee, the NFL agent, and he's rarely had people and representatives in his corner to do this kind of work on his behalf. That signals to me that there's an extra level of seriousness to his desire to get to that next level. And again, he might be coming back to a situation where he was suspended 6 games this year. He could be looking at a longer suspension in the future.